class.
White and blue running through my veins. On the pitch where the glory remains. The cockerel stands brave on the crest. North London pride, this ain't no jest. From lane to the new shining ground. Echo chants where the legends are found. Heroes carved in the heart of time. We march on through grit and grime. Oh, Tottenham, Tottenham, till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire. This is my club, my only desire. Oh, Tottenham, Tottenham, till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire. This is my club, my only desire. Echoes of King and Greaves in the air. Every goal, the sound declares. Heartbeats pound like a drummer's song, marching forward, fierce and strong. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. I'm Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire. This is my club, my only desire. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. I'm Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire. This is my club, my only desire.
God, I love our intro music. It's so good.
Yeah.
It really is so good. They're bopping away. It brings me back to the 1980s, being an 80s kid. Air guitar and everything. A bit before your time, James.
No,
Bit before. You're a 90s kid. I was an 80s kid. I was a 90s teenager.
I was an 80s kid.
Do you
I
know
was
what?
an 80s kid.
Before we get on to the football, right? I was on YouTube last night, and me and Mrs. Tron, she was watching something on her laptop, some horror zombie killing brain infected film. Them I can't stand watching. But I was flicking through YouTube, and it came up the cartoon ads of the 1980s. And I was just sitting there going, I remember that Danger Mouse, and
Yeah.
they all come up. Like they all come up. It was so good fun. It really was good fun.
Yeah.
Look, but yeah, we're here not here talking about 1980s cartoons or music or the models we used to fancy as kids in the 1980s. No, we're not. We're talking about football and Tottenham Hotspur. You're right, James. You're coughing there, man.
Yeah, I'm all right.
If I said something I shouldn't have.
No. I'm just thinking of some of the models who I fancied in the 80s.
Yeah, I'm just. Oh yeah, you got me thinking now too. Yeah.
Anyway, on with football. On with
go.
the football.
On with the football. Yeah. After the disappointment, look, turn around, forget about that. We now got a game going to the Arctic again to Bodo Glint, who we went there last season. Yeah, you can join Tequila. Come in, join the crack. Come on, join the hectic show. Make it the big trio. as we have a big of an because we do have a big of an announcement to make. We did make it the member show, but I wanted to make it here. I waited till Keeler comes in before we make it. Look, what's your thoughts on the Wolves game? Very quickly, James. Look, we're all pretty disappointed. I'm going to get this over with now, guys, because if you weren't a member, for your non-members, this was my player ratings I made for the show, for the member show earlier. If you weren't a member, get your memberships, 99 cents or 99p. You can watch all this show live. Do you agree with them player ratings of mine?
Apart from 2.
Okay.
Apart from 2. I would have probably given Kudos a 7. I think he was a lot better than a 6. And I would have probably given Benny a 6 as well.
You see, Tequila now on the other one, on the member show, I know whoever the people in the chat watched it and you watched a bit, said I actually should have downgraded Palunia and Bergville and the centre backs and upgraded Xavi Simons. So do you?
Yeah, Simmons. Four's a bit harsh for. Yeah, Four's a bit harsh for Simmons. I don't think he was that bad. He was trying to get things going for Spurs, but I think it's just he's in that settling period. He looks far more settled than Matisse Tell. And Matisse Tell, we know, did 6 months last year and he's come back this year. Yes, he's under a different manager this year, so maybe it's that. But I think he looks. I think he's gonna. I think he's gonna come on. He's gonna start kicking on leaps and bounds. But yeah, I think 4's a bit harsh. And here's the man of the hour, Mr. Tequila. How the hell are you, sir?
How are we doing, lads? You all right?
I'm good, thank you very much. Yeah, did we get enough likes?
No. There was no likes at all, so I was like, fine, I'll go on to spite them then.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't give us a like. We'll bring you on just to spite them.
The more likes you get, the less likely I'll be on. There you go. That's reverse psychology, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
How you doing,
definitely
Dermo?
is.
Is Dermo muted?
Yeah, Dermo, have you muted yourself, sir?
Just wave to him.
Sorry. I was just saying to Tequila is the new manager of the Ange Postecoglou fan club. He wants Ange back at Tottenham now. I mean, that is reverse psychology at its best.
I do miss the comedy. It's all for. That's right. I've got Forest and I've got Rangers for the new comedy. Those are my two.
Oh, breaking news from Rangers. Tottenham are considering bringing back Mikey Moore.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Look, I said it earlier, right? So look, guys, there's my player ratings. Let me know. I will put this up in the members in the channel's post area. I will put it up there after the stream. So let me know what you think when I put it up there. But also put your play ratings in the chat as well, and we'll bring them up as you do. Look, as a massive Celtic fan, right? I'm loving this. I am finding this highly hilarious. Watching Rangers go into meltdowns because the manager is absolutely useless, right? But there's a part of me because of Mikey Moore.
He's great, Dermo.
Pardon?
I love him. He's great. I love him.
Yeah, but for Mikey Moore, I don't want him being damaged.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? Is it damaging his progress? Is it damaging whatever he's been done up there? I said at the time, I think you can back me up in this, James or the kid. I forget who I said it with, that he should have gone to Celtic because I think he would have been better protected to Celtic and he would have got more game time at Celtic as
Dermo,
well.
there is a silver lining, mate. There is a silver lining. If Mikey Moore comes back, he'll be more inclined to listen to what Frank is going to say, because to be like, well, hold on, I've seen the other end of it now. I've had the worst manager maybe in history, so now I can appreciate what Thomas Frank brings now because he's just been under Russell.
That's a very good point, actually. That is an extremely good point.
A newfound respect for Thomas Frank, for somebody who actually has an idea what he's doing.
Yeah.
There you go.
Just a little bit of announcement. We did make it on the member show, so just to keep everyone up the street, there's been a bit of a structure change here on the channel. As from tomorrow, the channel will go from a foursome down to the fantastic tree. Because James, do you want to tell what's happening, bud?
Yeah, so basically what it was is, although I was very much involved with the channel, I love this channel, I love the show, I love being on with you guys. I had no stake in the channel, so to speak. And obviously my cousin, Colm, who we very much love and appreciate here on THFC Till We Die, has donated his stake in the show, so to speak, to myself. So as of tomorrow, I become an official owner of a YouTube channel. Not full ownership. I haven't done the full takeover yet, Dermo, but I am coming for you.
Nobody's taking my baby away from me.
When I take Tequila's shares off him, and I become majority owner, I'll be buying you out slowly but surely.
You will not be buying. This is my baby.
I can easily be bought out. I have no moral compass, no moral code. I'm all about the money.
I will be taking you out for a steak dinner very soon.
Thank you.
Is that Tequila? I've already told you. I already told you at the end of the last show that we did together. If I won the lottery, it'd be around the world tour. No one's asked.
Or penny sweet. So I'm assuming it's a penny sweet on the way to me via courier, James.
But
it might not even be a penny sweet. It might just be an empty envelope because cost of stamps are a lot nowadays. Tequila.
That's true. The stamp will cost more than what's in it. Yeah.
Look, on the serious point. Look. Colin is not leaving. He's still going to do shows with us. He's still going to be around the background to help me. But I think I wanted to state on the record how appreciated I have been of Colin for his dedication, his help putting this channel on the way that it's going now at the moment. There's no saying that we were just bobbling along before Colin joined us. And he's sort of straightened this channel out, laid the foundations. We're now building on top of that foundations. So I want to put on record to say thank you to Colin for everything he's done with this channel. He will be coming on, but as from tomorrow, it's me, it's us three. We're now taking full control of it. Well, do you know what I mean? It's the reins are now being lifted over to us three to bring this channel up to the next level, which we will do. We've got a lot of good ideas coming up. We've got a lot of new shows coming up. We've got a lot of stuff for you members as well, for non-members, but mostly members. But I just want to put on the record and say to Colin, thank you for everything and for what you've done. And I don't know if you guys want to say you a bit on it as well before we move on. Tequila, what do you want to say? Because you've been here as long as, you come on the same time as Colin, really, didn't you? You joined the channel around the same time.
I think I was slightly after him, but not by much. It was in the same kind of couple of months, I think. No, we all know what Con does behind the scenes. I can't give him too much credit because my gimmick is to take the mickey out of him. So I can't give him too much credit. At least publicly. Privately, I might message him, but publicly, no, he's a good lad. Just got a bad taste in football teams. Said it all the time.
That's true.
Yeah,
Can I just say one thing he has?
We all agree on that.
Yeah. One thing he did help me out was thumbnails. The thumbnails have improved. I know they have. That's fantastic.
Yeah, and he's helped them out in thumbnails. Of course, you guys know he does. I couldn't believe it either, but he does the theme song, so he set that up for Dermo as well. So he's done an awful lot of stuff when it comes to the presentation side. Even though he hasn't come on the show that much because he's a United fan. That's why he's got his United channel. But when it comes to the backstage stuff and the presentation, and also he's also taught us a little bit because he has run a few channels. Dermo's done it quite a lot. Obviously, I'm much newer. I know James is newer than me, but I'm much newer than Dermo or Con was. So I learned a little bit off him as well when it comes to the backstage stuff of how to run certain things as well. So he's taught me a couple of things. Don't tell him I said any of this. right?
No, we won't.
Nobody
We
said
won't.
anything.
He's at work, so he won't even be watching.
Good. Well, make
tonight.
sure he doesn't see any of this, right? Because I need to go back saying that he can't use a sniper rifle properly. That's my gimmick.
Yeah.
So,
Right. So look, that's what's happening. Thought we'd let you guys know. It's like when you have to let the stock exchange know of something happening within the company, we have to let you guys know when something happens. Yeah, it shows that
I just want to say thanks for having me. Do you know what I mean? It's not even been a year yet that I've been sticking my ugly mug out to the YouTube lovelies, and been so graciously welcomed into the family. It's been it's weird that it was first asked of me at such a strange location, our grandmother's funeral.
I can't believe he asked you that day, to be fair, James, when he told me.
Yeah, I mean,
When
it's
did you
like
ask him? He went, then I went, could you have not waited till after? Like, you know?
the thing is that we to be fair, although we'd always reach out to each other if we ever needed each other, it was one of those we never really saw each other as much as what we would have liked. Life gets in the way, so to speak. But yeah, when he asked me, and I was like, yeah, I don't mind doing a show. And when I did a show, and I really liked it, I really liked doing it. And then sort of one show turned into two turned into three, and three turned into 9 months later, and here I am.
Yeah.
And
we've got to meet each other as well in person.
yes, we did. Yeah, we did. That was lovely. Right, nice day out.
Was you
and
with your
everything.
stick, mine with mine. We're like two hobbling,
Yeah,
two hobbling.
yeah, hobbling around. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
still recovering at that point. Yeah.
Yeah. But look, the future looks bright, and this channel is going to grow stronger and get stronger. But bang. No, not bang. Pick up your memberships. 99p cent. Look, it's nothing. It's a piece of bread. It's just a loaf of bread, as we worked out today. But guys, we are away to Bodo Glint tomorrow in the Champions League. Any sort of trepidations about tomorrow? Are you worried? Because look, we are going to play in the plastic pitch. We did win there last time in the semi-final of the Europa League as well. So there shouldn't be any surprises. But we are playing in a different time of year. We're not playing more in December. More in their winter time, if you know what I mean. So, guys, where are you with this? I'm worried. A, because we've only got one fit striker. B, we know that we've got players out injured. And this is the injury list, guys. It is, we know Kulu's out, we know Manners is out, we know Dragons is out. Dominic Solanke's now gone under a minor operation over his ankle. Kolo Maruni is still out with his dead leg. Basuma is out with a knock. Well, Basuma's not even involved, but he's out with a knock to his head. And we just heard this evening that Romero isn't traveling either. Are you starting to worry about tomorrow night?
There's concern, of course, as always. There's concern. My biggest concern is complacency. We've been there, we've won, we've been taking them back to our place, we've won. And my biggest concern is the team going to get complacent? I believe the players that we've got are good enough to step in. Certainly for the Romero side, I believe that Frank will probably give the nod to Danso. And Danso is more than capable, I think, of filling that void. Not up to Romero's standard, but certainly able to put a shift in. But yeah, my biggest concern is complacency. Are we going to be a little bit complacent? Like, we beat these before, we can beat them again, and just complacency start to creep in a little bit.
Yeah. What about you, Tequila?
I'm not that concerned because I consider them in quite poor opposition in the grand scheme of things. I mean, if Ange Postecoglou could get a result there, then I'm more than convinced that Thomas Frank can.
See, this love affair with you and Ange is gonna blossom as the season goes on. You know that.
The worse he does at Forest, the more I like him. Isn't that?
Yeah, weird? I would say, as as Forest goes down the tables, Tequila's love for Ange goes up.
Weird, isn't it? Weird how
It's
that
a
works.
weird,
Yeah.
it's a weird bromance that's starting to bloom here.
Yeah. No, look. We want to be respectful to teams, right? But we know the quality of their league. We know the quality of teams they play on a regular basis. We know that they're in a Champions League because of the way the way it goes, the way that every club kind of gets in, right? So they are there. I'm not going to say they don't deserve to be there because they do. But let's be realistic. Our B team should be able to beat them. And this isn't our B team. It's missing Romero, but Danso he's a drop down, as James just said, but that's why you need a squad. It's not a significant drop. Yes, it's a drop, but it's not a significant drop. As far as not playing with Dermo, I barely class Richarlison as a striker.
Yeah,
so,
you had this conversation early, didn't we, about him?
Yeah,
it's
him being there or not, I mean, if we're relying on Richarlison to win us games, we're going to have a very poor season. So I don't rely on him to do it. So whether he's there or not, that doesn't affect how I kind of feel. It's like, that's what we've got. It should still be enough, not particularly from him, because I don't think he can score many goals at all. Yeah, he's had his 2 good games a season. He's already had them. Unfortunately for us, he had them in the first 2 games. But that's it. That's it for his season, probably. It's just the way it is, man.
I get it.
I think we'll get a result. I don't think it'll be pretty, but I think it could be a draw. I wouldn't sit here and tell you that a draw would be beyond the realms of possibility, but I can't see us losing. Is a draw enough? Maybe.
I would take a draw. I would take a draw tomorrow night, considering. If somebody said to me, you go out there and get a draw, I would take that. I would bite the hand off for that. Look, I think we will win. I think you've got to look at Bodo. They did very well in the Europa League last season to get to the semi-finals. They beat some very good teams along the way, by the way. And they started very well in their Champions League as well. Well, who were they away to in match day 1? And they only just lost by 3-2 or something. No, they got a 3-0 draw, didn't they? They got a draw in their first game. Oh, forget the team. I watched it as well. It was a cracking game.
Slavia Prague.
Yeah.
Drew 2-2.
Yeah, and they were 2-0 down. And they came back to so they got the players, they got the fight. They're a good team. They shouldn't be taken lightly. But we are Tottenham Hotspur. We act to say that we are a big club.
Do you think, Dermo, do you think that they're a better team than Wolves or Bournemouth? Because I don't.
No, look, they're not a better team than Wolves and Bournemouth, but football is a funny old game. Football has a way of kicking you in the arse when you don't expect it to. I mean, we didn't expect to lose to teams we lost to in the past when we've gone away in Europe. Who was that team we lost to in the UEFA Cup or the Europa League under Mourinho? They were a part-time team. Do you remember we lost to them?
Oh, they were another...
Mora? Yeah, I don't remember them.
Yeah, but do you know what I mean? It does shows that that we can lose. But I don't think Thomas Frank, I think the team who are picked tomorrow night will do a job. Yeah, but I don't like the excuses already. It's a plastic pitch. That's why we didn't bring Romero.
There's a difference between that comparison you've made, though. Well, right, the players themselves did not want to be in the Conference League. They did not care about Mura. They wanted, in my opinion, they didn't want to be there. They thought the competition was beneath them.
Yeah.
I believe the manager also, Conte, wasn't it? I think he thought it was beneath him. So I think they didn't care less. And they cared so little that, do you remember it was I think it was Nancy or one of the French teams were meant to come and play us. They couldn't get there. And we didn't care. We didn't care enough to appeal it and just were fine with going out the competition. So they did not care at all, the players, about going out. This is the Champions League.
For me, that's wrong, Tequila.
Well, of course it's wrong, but it's true. So the comparison is different. This is the Champions League. Yeah. These players should be up for it, no matter what player it is, because it's still the Champions League.
I think a question to you two then. Do the players get that off the manager then? Does the manager then?
The manager didn't want to be in it either. Conte, as much as I do respect him, I think Spurs as a club, Conte as a manager, and the players with their egos, all of them thought he was beneath them. All of them did.
Yeah.
The club itself probably thought he was a hindrance. Now, us as fans probably don't feel that way. There's some fans. I remember some fans kind of not caring that we went out either because
when we first qualified for it, there was a lot of why we're qualifying for this shite for.
Exactly. You remember as well. Some fans were just like, I'd rather. Dermo, some fans were like, I'd rather not be in it.
That's true. That's true. I don't care what competition we're in. If we qualify for the Conference League next season, I want us to win it because at the end of that, you get moved up into another European competition. And there's still a European trophy. As the West Ham fans, I know they've sacked Harry Potter. He's gone looking for Hermione and Ronnie with the red hair up at some dodgy castle up in Scotland. But, you ask West Ham fans, what was the best night of their lives? Winning the Conference League. What's the best night of our lives supporting Tottenham in the last 17 years? Winning the Europa League. So yeah. I think, James, where are you on this? Are you, you look at the teams we've lost to in the past. Yes, we beat Bodo Glint last season, home and away. But, it's tequila right. Certain games players are up for, certain games they're not up for.
Absolutely. Absolutely 100%. If anything, even like last year when with Ange in charge, you could always tell when the players were fired up for it. Like you look at the times when we played Manchester City. Yes, we've got a recently good record against Manchester City, but the players always seemed that little bit more hungry. They always seem to drive that extra yard. Liverpool in the first round of the Carabao Cup semi-final last season, really, really good game. Second leg, we acted like we were gonna walk it, and we didn't show up, and we got turned over. So yeah, I believe absolutely certain players have that big game mentality in their heads, and if it's not a big game, they're not giving 100%, and it's wrong. They should give 100%.
I saw it at Crystal Palace when I went to the Palace game. They just did not care. They went on there. So look, it's for me, it's a thing. Tomorrow night is a game we have to turn up for. Tomorrow night is a game that I think the players have to get their heads screwed on. Right, it's get another 6 points. Let's get up that league, and let's see can we get into the top 8. So what do you want to see tomorrow night then, James? I'll go down to you, Tequila, then. What do you want to see tomorrow night? What one player do you want Thomas Frank to pick and say, right, I want him to start, but this is what I want him to do?
I would ideally love Xavi Simons playing in the number 10 role where he's more natural.
Yeah. We talk
rather than forcing him out on left. Yeah. Rather than seeing him out on the left and trying to get him to cut in, let him play in that number 10 role. Let him dictate the play. He's good at it. Let him do what he's good at.
Who do you play in the left wing then, James? I know I've got too many quality options here. So please enlighten me. Tell me what you do on the left wing.
Look, we've seen one particular lineup, haven't we, James, where Odegaard's out on that left.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, you've got two options really. You either push Odegaard out there, you let Odegaard go out there, or you push Johnson out there, and then you put Kudus on the right.
Johnson's not a winger,
that people tell me Tell can play on the left. I say they tell me.
Tell can't play. He's not selected in the squad,
he's not in the
team,
is he? Well, that could. All right then. Well, that was all right then. Yeah.
But Brennan Johnson's not a winger. I am telling you now, he's not a winger. Where you play Brennan Johnson, I do not know.
Where'd you play him, Dermo?
Well, that's the $60 million question, isn't it? Where do you play Brennan Johnson?
I know where you play him. I've got it.
Where?
I know where you play him as well.
Another club.
Look,
another club who play two up front, maybe, because we don't.
Yeah.
Can I just say,
I would also say I would also say either left back in fucking changing rooms.
Yeah, I like Brennan Johnson, and Keelan knows I stuck up from last year, didn't I? A hell of a lot, more than probably what I should have done. But he was.
He finished his top goal. He was his top goal scorer, Demo. Yeah,
yeah, he finished on touch. Oh, hang on. I am going to bring this up. Hi, can you wish Mary W a speedy recovery?
Sure. I didn't know. We didn't know that.
No,
she
well,
was...
Mary's in the chat. Hang on, where is she? I did see Mary. Oh.
Yeah, she's there. Mary,
are you all right? Are you not well?
That they don't compete. Dancer is a very good player.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mary, we hope you're well.
I hope you feel better
soon.
Yeah. Big up to Tiger Lily. Big up to your Tiger Lily. Thank you for coming in, and do hit the like and subscribe. Pick up a membership as well. But yeah, let us know, Mary. Are you okay? She is the queen of the members of the channel, Queen Mary Tottenham the First. You know, if this was Game of Thrones, Tequila would be her first hand. You know, as her left lieutenant. Me and James.
You don't want to use Game of Thrones as an example for any women, Dermo. That's what I'm going to say. Don't choose that
Game
show.
of Thrones. It was good.
It's a good show, but just don't choose that for when
you know what? You have to watch it twice. I tell you why. Because you do miss things. If the first time you watch it, once you watch it again, you pick up things you missed in the first episode.
Well, it depends on the season, but that's another story. If you're talking about seasons 1 to 6, yeah, pay attention. Season 7, 8 becomes popcorn.
Yeah, it does. It
Just
really does. I just see Tequila playing with his dragon. Oh, got the
I'll
flu.
I'll play with the dragon lady.
Oh, she's got the flu. Well, look, feel better, Mary W.
Yeah.
Hope you.
Yeah.
Get well soon. Want to say something to Mary W?
Get well soon, Mary.
Yeah, get well soon, darling. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Get a bit of whiskey, hot lemon, water, slice of lemon. Get back down. You'll be right as right.
A bit of potching. Tell her get a bit of potching down her neck.
Yeah,
that's sorting it all out. Put hairs on my chest when I was a kid. Did
great stuff potching. Not saying
great
anything,
stuff potching. As being Irish yourself, James, you know what potching is. It's great stuff. Grand. But just don't drink water the next morning, because if you do, you'll be pissed as a fart again as you were the night before.
Yeah.
So look, I've been a big fan of Brennan Johnson, supported him, backed him. Look, he will do well. I've got this thing that he should be playing as a striker. I think that's his position, because I think he's got a knack of coming in, picking up goals, and being there at the right time in the 6-yard box.
Oh, you mean like he did against Doncaster Rovers? Did nothing for 93 minutes and then popped up with 30 seconds left of the game when everybody else was shattered, and went on and scored a goal and put the grin on his face like he'd just scored the World Cup winner.
Yeah, hang on. So let me ask you this then, and Tequila as well. Look, people used to say that about, I'm not comparing Brennan Johnson with Jimmy Greaves, right? I'm just using it as an example, right? I was always told, like Philip Brady would tell me, that Jimmy Greaves would do nothing for 8-9 minutes and then pop up and score a goal in the 90th minute. Now, Jimmy Greaves was a world-class player. Okay.
Yeah.
Brennan Johnson's not a world-class player. Brennan Johnson's a Premier League player, if you know what I mean. That's what he's doing.
I can give you another big difference between Jimmy Greaves and Brennan Johnson.
Yeah, I wasn't saying they're as good. They're similar. Can I just get
no.
Stop pulling the piss out of me.
I'm just saying one big difference between Jimmy Greaves and Brennan Johnson is Jimmy Greaves did it against the biggest of big clubs. Brennan Johnson can only do it against fucking bottom 5 of the league. Just saying.
No. Here's a good question then. And you with me, we've lived through the times of Lineker and Rush, by the way, James. I think it was a bit before Tequila's time, because he's the baby of the channel, as we like. He's the youngster. He's the baby brother of the channel. That's a compliment, by the way, Tequila. Take it.
Yeah.
Maybe in the brain. My brain's not developed as much as you guys. Yeah.
Now, we remember Gary Lineker and Ian Rush, probably the great strikers of the 80s. Would you agree? Or was there anybody better in the 80s than them two?
Clive Allen.
He only did it one season.
Don't care. You might look like a carrot, but he still scored a lot of goals.
He did,
I like
he did score a
Clive
lot of
Allen,
goals.
to be fair.
Yeah, I like Clive Allen as well.
Now, Jared's asking Dermo, and I will add you into this one. Dermo and James, do you think Johnson could be a Lineker or an Ian Rush? He's more like saying a fox in the box.
Hmm.
You're like an Ian Wright. You know
Yeah,
what Ian Wright was?
Yeah, a
Not
little bit like
really.
Ian. Ian Wright was a little bit like a fox in a box,
Yeah.
but Ian Wright used to just whip out a worldie every now and again.
Isn't
Johnson.
the, I've been playing too much FIFA. Isn't the term poacher?
yeah, poacher.
Yeah.
I think he would be like a Lineker or an Ian Rush. His job sit in the 6-yard area. That's your position.
Yeah.
You stay there. You bang in the goals for us.
Yeah, but
Yes.
Dermo, right? I know that. Yeah, you're right. You guys have seen more of the 80s than I did, but and the 90s. But football has changed. That was when most teams went with 2 strikers, so you could afford to have that player do that. When you're playing, most teams play one up front or as a free. The person leading the line needs to do more, and that's why Johnson can't do the other stuff. Neither can Richarlison, though. But
neither can he. Well,
Richarlison can't even do one.
No, he can't do any of it. Dermo asked me the other night, like, what about Johnson? I said, you can't be any worse. Give him
I
a
did
shot.
put it out there. I mean, you saying that, Tequila, right? Why can't we not go with 2 up front? Why can't we? Why do we have to?
I'm not saying you can't. It's just that most teams don't. I'm sure some teams still do, but you go through the majority of the starting lineup, especially in the big leagues. When's the last time really that you saw a team I'm not saying they didn't got 2 up front for maybe like a little part of the game, but an actual tactic with 2 up front. How common is that nowadays?
I think it's more common in Europe.
It's on the decline. It's certainly on the decline. A lot of if the thing is though is a lot of clubs who play the 2 up top, they deploy like a DLF role, like a deep line forward role. So they'll have an attacking midfielder, but they'll have a deep line forward. So they'll set up. It'll kind of look like a 4-2-3-1-1, but with the DLF slightly deeper. But he is actually a striker, and you'd have sort of a hold-up player or a target man.
You mean like a false 9?
Yeah.
It's just Dermo. You saying you'd like to put Johnson as like a false 9?
Yeah,
because he can't lead the line. I think
no, he can. No, I agree with you. He can.
The only way Johnson's leading a line is if there's 2 or 3 players around him, like literally around him, and he's just there feeding off the scraps. Or like you say, Dermo, right place, right time.
Yeah, I mean, you look at he can't do what some other strikers hold up the ball well, like Solanke does. Solanke is good at that, holding up the ball and bringing other players in, and that's what Johnson's good at. Because if you've got somebody doing that, Johnson then runs past the back and get into them positions to put the ball in the back of the net. Because we don't have a player that can hold the ball up, Johnson hasn't got a chance to get round the back and get into these positions because there's nobody there to do it. This is where we failed Thomas Frank in the summer transfer window by not buying the striker. Now, we don't know if Kolo can do that. We don't know if he can do that. He's more of a fox in the box, Kolo. If you look at all the goals he scored for PSG and Juventus, they've all been around the 6-yard area or in and around the penalty area. 1 or 2 outside the area.
He is more of a striker, though. Randall is Colin Warren. He is more of a striker, and I really wish we'd get this dead leg issue sorted. Like either chop his leg off or something, because it's becoming a little bit of a ridiculous sort of injury. To be fair, I mean. Me and you were talking about Tequila at the end of the Donny game, weren't we? Of this, you get a dead leg. It aches for a couple of hours and maybe the next day a little bit, and then you're fine. What's happened to his leg? What's happened to his leg?
Yeah, there's something else. There's something else going on.
I think he's not fully fit.
That's
there's
what I
something-
said.
Yeah, I don't think he's fully fit. Also, they've probably seen something in training they don't like. And Thomas Frank is a bit. See, Thomas Frank is more for stats, isn't he? He's more for numbers and looking
Yeah.
through the data. I know everyone says it data in
mean-
England. We say
I mean,
data in Ireland,
it
so-
makes
so.
you think how rushed a signing it was then, because did we not put him through the proper medical testing phase? Did we just say, "Yep, we're out of time, get him in, we'll worry about the medical later on"? And then they did a medical, and it's like, "Oh, hold on, he ain't really."
Yeah.
Maybe.
Because that was your theory, wasn't it, Tequila, as well, when we were
Yeah,
talking?
I mean,
you
and
saw...
the longer it goes on, the less likely it's a dead leg. Let's be honest. The longer it goes on, it's
Yeah.
like no, it's become a bit comical now. Obviously, there's something else.
Look, does that mean then our medical team is not as good then? You look at our medical team, Dom Solanke's been out with a slight ankle problem since pre-season, since August.
You don't know if
Yeah.
it was. You don't know. Like I say, it was such a last minute signing. It could have been, like I say, it's just like you don't know. How rushed were they into it? Because obviously, I don't think that was our first choice. We obviously wanted the Silvino from
Manchester
Man
City.
City. Yeah.
and then probably and Simmons probably to play as a number 10. We couldn't obviously pull that off. So it's like, okay, let's get this dude in who can cover that.
Well, then let me ask you this then. We saw him come on against Villarreal. I was not impressed with him one iota when he came on. What were your guys' thoughts on it when you saw him come on as a substitute? Did he look unfit? Because when he came on, I thought
Yeah.
he was knackered after about 10 minutes. Like,
Yeah, he looked tired. But that's what I was saying to Tequila is that when you actually think about it, he was basically frozen out of Paris Saint-Germain. Paris Saint-Germain had categorically said they didn't want him. They didn't involve him in any kind of pre-season. He was training on his own. He was waiting on his move back to Juventus. That dragged on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Eventually, Juventus decided not to go for him, and for financial reasons, and we signed him on loan. So he's had no pre-season, had no kind of match day football since the end of last season with Juventus. So is it a case of, yes, he's getting this dead leg, or it is a recurring injury because he's training and his legs are dead? And he's on his last legs, and we're trying to get his fitness levels up, giving him either game time in the under-21s or behind closed doors friendlies or whatever it is. They're trying to get his fitness levels up, but it's just an odd sort of injury that's been now nearly a month, because we've got to think we're nearly a couple of days. We're going to be on the 1st of October.
yeah.
I mean, it's going to have been with us a month. So I'm sorry, I don't believe a dead leg keeps any player out for a month.
No, it doesn't. Look, let's go through the form guide for Tottenham for the last 5 games. It's all competitions, by the way. Tequila, is there any game there that you stand out and you thought, do you know what? That's the way I want Tottenham to play every game this season. Is there one game here that picks? I've got one game. I'm sure James has the same game as me, but is there any game there apart from the Donny game? No disrespect to Doncaster Rovers, we should be beating them. But any other game impressed you with Tottenham's run there?
Probably the beating. I mean, West Ham, obviously, I think that's the obvious one for me. But that being said, look how bad obviously West Ham certainly were. At least they were obviously right in there, the end of Potter's reign, more or less, coming to it. So that might be a difficult one to actually see where we're at. Looking at that, I am concerned about our home form this season. I think we might end up being having one of those weird seasons. And I can't remember which manager it's under where his away record was phenomenal, but
we couldn't win at home.
We couldn't win at home, or we just struggled so much more at home than we did away. And I have a feeling, only based on this sample size, and it's only been 8 or 9 games into the season now, that we might struggle. And Bournemouth, we lost. We got a very, very fortunate win, really, over Villarreal. Obviously, we just had the Wolves, which was not a good performance. Whereas our away form overall has been, and our away performance, I think, have been a bit better. And you do get seasons like that. There's normally more behind it than that. to do with how we set up against teams. Obviously, some teams are going to be a lot more courageous when they're playing at home than they are away. So does that mean that we're more set up to be a better counter-attacking kind of team to soak up the pressure? And then because we know we're pretty good defensively overall, but because our offense is so poor, which we all know it is, especially our strikers, that when it comes to when the emphasis is on us, we're going to struggle. We need the teams to come on to us. And that's all well and good when you're playing the big boys. But once you're playing the mid-table teams, and especially the more relegation type of teams, they're probably not going to come at you that much. And it looks like, even though Bournemouth, I would not class as a relegation team, they are quite a front foot team. But we saw it with Wolves as well. When we play these lower status sides, especially at home, I just got a feeling we might struggle to get some goals. I told you before, Dermo, at the start of the season, there's going to be a lot of draws this year, bro.
Yeah, I know. Look, I said it to Tequila earlier. I mean, for me, the game that stands out is the Brighton game, the 2-2 from Brighton. I think that game proved that we're different from last year. And also the Wolves game, as bad as it was, the one gleaming thing to come out of that was the never give up attitude. We just kept going at it. And under Ange last year, we would have given up by now. By the hour mark, we would have given up and Wolves would have scored 2 or 3. Sorry. But look, for me, you are right about the scoring goals. You are right about the draws. But as I said, James, to Tequila earlier, do you think we need a bit of boring? After what we went through the last 2 seasons with Ange, the ups and downs and the is this game where he goes? I mean, I remember doing watch-alongs with you, James, right, and Tequila, and especially like with you or Steve, and I was saying to you, we'll be losing 1-0. Is this the game he's going to get sacked? Is this the game the club are going to fight?
That was a weekly theme. That was a weekly theme, there, man.
Yeah, and it was, and it got mentally tiring, didn't it? That just get it over and done with. We're all expecting the after every defeat. Now, come on, is axe gonna fall? So, do we need a bit of boring? I think we do.
I don't think there's anything wrong with a bit of boring. There's a difference of a bit of boring and losing, or a bit of boring and drawing, and a bit of boring and grinding out a win. I agree. I think with what you said, by the way, is that I think the Brighton game showed the fighting spirits that was in Tottenham, even to an extent of how poor we were against Wolves. Although I don't think we were poor in the first half, and we just weren't clinical in the first half.
Yeah.
I think there was a difference of being poor and not being clinical. I just don't think we were clinical enough in the first half, because within the first 20 minutes of that Wolves game, we could have been out of sight if we'd have been more clinical.
I agree.
Were timed a little bit better. Richarlison had got out of Kudus' way and not clattered him into post. Excuse me. So I think if we can get that clinical edge, I think we'll be okay. But I think a bit boring and grinding out wins is going to probably be wins or draws is going to be on the cards a lot this season. I agree with Tequila. It's going to be one of those where we may become frustrated with the lack of attacking emphasis that Spurs do, or their lack of ability to break down teams who set up in a low block. Because you look at Brighton, you look at Brighton set up in a low block. You look at Bournemouth set up in a low block. You look at Wolves set up in a low block. And when we are playing teams that set up in a low block, we are frustrated and we cannot break them down.
I was about to ask you, James. It's I think Kudus is the exception, and Simmons, we hope, is the exception. And with Maddison out, that takes him out of the running. We have one player that I'm at the minute convinced of who can pick the lock, is the terminology, isn't it?
Yeah.
Who can pick the lock.
Yeah.
Can Simmons become that? Everyone tells me he can. I need to see more. I've seen enough of Kudus to know that he can. But that's one player. And if that one player, I said it to Dermo in pre-season, if he has a bad game or he's having a quiet game, we got nothing.
And we don't have anything, do we, up front? We don't have any.
No.
And that's
Bergvall's a good player, and maybe he can become that, but I don't think he's there yet. We don't have that spark other than Kudos. I think Simmons has got it as well, I think, but we'll see. I think Maddison has it as well, but he's not going to be there, so it's down to
I think
Kudos.
Papa Sarr has it. I think Papa Sarr's been very good in the first.
Not to those, in my opinion, not to the levels of
not to the getting 15 to 20 assists a season levels.
No,
I think that's where Tequila's sort of basing it. When you have a player that's unlocking defences and they are racking up assist after assist, Doku at Manchester City, or Doku, however you want to pronounce it, he is a man who can unlock a defence for Haaland. He is one of their big creative forces, and he can work some magic, unlock a ball. And I do see Xavi Simons being able to do that. I think we've got to give him a little bit of time to adapt to the Premier League. He's only ever played in the Dutch league. He's only played in the Dutch league, and the Dutch league to the English league, like we've seen with players that have come over before. What was his name? Steven Bergwijn, Van der Vaart. Van der Vaart was a little bit different because he played away from the Dutch league before he became.
What a player Van der Vaart was, James. Well, what I'd give for a Van der Vaart in our team right now.
Yeah.
Big up the column. Who just came in.
Oh, he is in.
Nice little troll came in and trolled right away.
Yeah. You have Solanke, Johnson, and Richarlison. What do you mean you've got no one to unlock defence? Yeah, with these laughing emojis. I would have taken Haaland of Manchester United. Do you know that? I've said that.
But according to the United fans, they would have bit your hand off and given you them. Look, did we? Are we? Big up to your column, by the way. Anyway, and it goes on. It says Simmons has played in League One and Bundesliga. Yeah, he was playing for RB Leipzig.
He did play for Leipzig. Yeah.
That's
my apologies. My apologies. He did.
Look, talking about Harry Kane, there is stories going around. He has to let Bayern know in January if he wants to come back to England or not. It is going to be that he's going to stay probably in Bayern to the end of his contract. To 2027, but funnier things have happened. But do you think with Harry Kane playing two roles for us, he could play a number 10 and he can play a number 9 role? Do you think when he left, we then realised how good Harry Kane was? Because since then, we've been forever trying to fill the role of two strikers. Somebody that can do one role. Do you know, he did both. Two players. Harry Kane did both. Should we pulling out all the stops to get Harry back? I know he won't come back, but I'm just saying not yet. But do you think between now and January, we need to be pulling out all the stops? And this is where the Lewis family comes in. This is where they have to show their momentum. Or do you think they have to be really scouring now and getting a top striker at the club? Is this now down to the Lewis family? The ball's in your court now, lads, for Viv and Charlie and Peter and all the rest of them, and Vinay as well. If the ball's in their account,
yeah, the ball is definitely in their court. But I agree with what Colm's saying here is to stop looking backwards and focus forwards. Harry Kane is your past. Yeah, he very much is in the past, and we'll never get another Harry Kane. Harry Kane was a generational talent. Yeah, Harry Kane was Erling Haaland a few years, like 7-8 years ago, when he first broke in and started racking up. Because when Harry Kane scored his first 20-goal season, everybody said, he's
a wonder.
It's a one-season wonder. Then he did it again, and when it was like, can he do it for a third season? Everybody was always questioning, can he continue to do it? And he did, and he continued to do it. Continued to churn out the numbers, and he just went from strength to strength to strength to strength. And I agree, we've got to be looking for the next Harry Kane instead of an aging one. And I do have a little bit of news about a striker that we are supposedly interested in from the German leagues, and he currently plays for Bayer Leverkusen. Whether or not it's a deal that Spurs can make happen, it'd be an expensive deal for us, and that's Victor Boniface.
I wouldn't say no to that, to be fair.
big, strong, powerful
Mm.
target striker. Absolutely. Young as well, still relatively young, mid-20s. Absolutely someone who could really, really thrive in the Premier League. Whether or not that is a deal that is going to happen, it's like I say, it's someone we are looking at. There's nothing that we are swapped out for Kane. Absolutely, Mary.
Mary's been
Absolutely.
on the hot toddies a bit too much, I think.
You know
Yeah.
what? You know what? Yeah, she's actually got a point though. Since his release clause is 57 million, would you not say, have tailback, give us our 30 million back, we'll give you 27 million. Just deal done.
Do you know what?
Can we return it? We haven't used it much. Can we return it? It's in nearly pristine condition. Can we return the item, please?
I get what Colin is saying.
Throw a Brendan Johnson in for free, or
buy one get one free. Yeah,
or an Yves Bissouma 3-for-1 deal.
I get what Colin is saying here. Harry Kane instead of Van. I get what he's saying about not looking back, right? But Harry Kane did so much more for us than we realised at the time. We're now struggling because Harry Kane did both roles. He dropped as a 10, and look, how many goals did he set up for Sonny with his long-range passing? How many goals did he score with him being in the 6-yard area? Harry Kane did both.
Dermo, he was our goal scoring machine, and he was our playmaker. Both.
Well, look, I always described him as a mix between Jimmy Greaves and Glenn Hoddle. Harry Kane. There was a bit of mixture between him. I always said that. Look, I get it. Look, I look back right at past players. You look at. I can remember as a kid watching Garth Crooks and Steve Archibald, Glenn Hoddle, and that midfield. You had Tony Galvin one side. You had players Graham Robertson that midfield, and you had Steve Perriman, and you had Ozzy Ardiles and Ricky Villa. And I look back at them and think that was the Tottenham type side that excited me. It had everything. We had a bit of steel and defense, but we had a creative midfield and two strikers who could put the ball in the back of the net. And I get it, but why can't we, for two or three seasons, bring back Harry Kane and have a good go at winning the league? Why can't we not do that? If the Lewis family want us to win the Premier League, want us to win the Champions League, surely they're going to have to bring back Harry Kane, right? Pay him whatever he wants, and build a team around him, and say, right, for
because
3
he's not a player
seasons,
to he's not a player to have a team built. He's not a player to have a team built around. Harry Kane is not a player that you can build a team around.
But you put Harry Kane in that front three with James Maddison before. We talked about this earlier, didn't we, Tequila? How mouth-watering would that be? Simmons one side, Kudos on the right, Simmons on the left, James Maddison in the middle, Harry Kane up front.
The difference is, Dermo, is that Harry Kane, if I'm Harry Kane, I'm probably thinking to myself, okay, well, I've been here before, right? You need to invest 500 million plus to even consider making this team a title challenger. And that's putting us maybe at Arsenal, City's level. Maybe Liverpool, I think, is even more investment needed to overtake them. So Kane's going to be thinking, okay, Yannick, yeah, I've been here before. Are you going to invest 700 million? It sounds crazy, but that's how much you're probably looking at. 700 million, 600, 700 million to actually bring in the probably 7 or 8 world-class players we would need to turn our current team, in my opinion, into
challenges,
fighting alongside City and Liverpool, maybe rivaling. Okay, we're not even Enoch, as much as I'd love to believe, they ain't going to put 700 million.
Then that asks the question, then, Tequila.
Okay.
It came out last week. Apparently, there was a bid for Spurs that Tottenham turned down. We don't know how
unequivocally turned it down.
And they keep coming out. We want to win the Premier League. We want to win the Champions League. And it was all Daniel Levy's fault. Daniel Levy, no word of a lie, I read this, has been banned from Hotspur away. He can't even go on and pick out his stuff, nor can his wife. there has been a massive.
They shipped all his stuff. They emptied his. I read the same article. They emptied his office.
Yeah.
Put it all in a van and drove it to his house and dumped it on his doorstep. They didn't even knock on his door to hand him his stuff. They just dumped it on his doorstep and drove away. I mean, this is a guy who, yes, we all have our love-hate relationship for Daniel Levy, but the man didn't deserve that. He didn't deserve that. How much I dislike the man, he didn't deserve that.
The thing is, though, James, you say that, and I don't know him personally any more than you do, but he seemed to upset nearly everyone.
Well, he did upset everybody.
I mean, Simon Jordan mentions him a lot, and even Simon Jordan says, I respect the man, but he never said that he liked him. He respected him for his business acumen, but he fell out with him as well. It just seems that Levy falls out with everyone.
Yeah, but
managers
himself.
Well,
but look,
he probably looks himself in the mirror and calls himself out.
I know what that is. See, James thinks that Levy's being Gollum from Lord of the Rings. He's talking to himself.
But if Tottenham are, if the Lewis family are determined to win the Premier League and win all these big trophies, and they're not going to put the money in, surely then they're going to have to sell or sell a minority or whatever. So where are we going with this then? Do you think there's more to this bid last week than meets the eye, James? Because look, you and me can't say a lot. We went through a couple of text messages for something I've got. It took me a while to work it out. To believe me, it did. I'm not smart at this thing, so you're smarter than me. You know stuff as well. We both can't say a lot on it. I think there's a lot of fire. They always say there's no smoke without fire. I don't think this is the last thing we're going to hear. But do you believe that? I know we had this conversation last week, Friday, but we didn't really finish it. So I was hoping to finish it tonight. Do you think that if he came in with a £4.5 billion bid, 3.3 billion for the club, 1.2 billion down for transfers for January, do you believe if a Qatari or a Saudi Arabian come in with the same thing, would the Lewis family sell? Because is it to do with the NFL sort of type? Because we are linked with the NFL for the next 10 years. Yeah. So would if that been the natural fit, an American NFL type takeover instead of a Qatari Saudi Arabian takeover?
It's a tricky.
I said 1.2 column on wages as well, by the way. I'm just reading what was put in the press. I was just reading.
It was 1.2 billion available for transfers in the January. That is what they stated. And I will revert everybody's thingy back to the newspaper that broke it, which was The Sun. But the guy who broke it for The Sun is apparently a very reputable sports journalist who doesn't go out on a limb and say stuff without there being real good concrete that regarding things in the footballing world, let's say.
Yeah.
As regards to your answer to the question of do I believe there's no smoke without fire? Or do I believe there is a fire? I believe there is. How can I put it? I believe that there is a. Well, we'll just pay off. Colin, we'll just pay off the FA like Manchester City did. If we've got 1.2 billion in thingies, surely they'll have enough money to pay off the FA like Manchester City.
Surely
did.
Then they'll pay off the debt, the stadium debt. That'd be the first thing to go, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah, because that's what they would do. But they would probably restructure the debt so it's beneficial to them. Or they'll do like what Chelsea do, sell the women's team for 20 million one season and then buy it back for 100 million the year after, whatever it is that they do, and sell the bloody hotel and then buy the hotel back, or the hotel gets gifted back because it's been restructured and it ends up being gifted back to Chelsea. who then
See-
go on and sell it again. It's like, do
I
you know
don't
what I mean?
want
There's-
to be in this. I don't want this circus, as you've put it, like Chelsea do. So
yeah,
do you know,
and Manchester City. I
and
don't
Man City,
think
I
it'll
don't want
happen.
this circus at my club.
I
at
I
our
don't
club.
think it'll happen. I don't think it'll happen. But look, all I can say with regarding takeover and do I think something could happen? Yes, something could still happen. Do I think it could be this same person that's launched a bid now?
Maybe.
Possibly. Could it be Qatari? Possibly. Could it be the Saudis? Possibly. The thing is with Enoch 2 or 3 times now stating that Tottenham Hotspur is not for sale. What you've got to look at there is the wording very carefully.
Yeah.
What they've said is Tottenham Hotspurs are not currently for sale. That is the repeated message. Tottenham Hotspurs is not currently for sale.
Unless the right offer comes in, and then they are for sale.
Now someone comes in and offers them 4 billion. They may turn around and say, "Okay, we'll consider that." Someone comes in and offers 4.5 billion. Then the narrative changes again.
Yeah.
So at this moment in time, do I think that what I think Enoch are doing is they've got rid of Levy, they've cleared the decks of the backroom and boardroom levels, they've put in who they want to put in. They will see where this season goes and how the dust settles. If there's not much growth in the football club by the end of the season, I think very much so Tottenham will be up for sale.
I mean, look, Tequila, and I will come back to you as well, James, with another question. But Tequila, look, we've seen American owners take over football clubs. Some of them very successful, and some of them not so successful. You look at the Glazers at Manchester United. You look at the
Please
Liverpool
tell me you're putting that in the non-successful.
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
That's
You look
okay.
at Liverpool owners, very successful at Liverpool, turned Liverpool into a juggernaut again because of the way they spent on players and the way they dealt with transfers and that. Should we look? I'm very that you could go very political about Middle Eastern takeovers. We're not going to go there, but you look at the takeover at Manchester City. You look at the takeovers Tequila at Newcastle. Very different. Where would you? I think Tottenham are the one few English-owned clubs in the Premier League. If you had a preference to take over our football club, what would you like to see? Would you like an American takeover where there could be a chance of another Glazers? Or would you like a Middle Eastern takeover where you got a good chance they got the club's best interests at heart, but they're going to concentrate on the football side, not the business side? I mean, the same question to you, James, but I'm going to change it a little bit differently for you. For you, Nikita, where are you on that? Where would you prefer?
I think the easiest way for me to answer is to try to understand what people's ambitions and what they expect is. If you mean just getting us back where we were before, like top 4, stuff like that, then I'd choose the American owners because I think that's certainly achievable. But to really go all in, like proper go all in, and to challenge for the league, the investment required probably only comes from state ownership. I don't like state ownership, but I think that we're so far behind them because yes, Liverpool have done it without state ownership, but we're so far behind them that the required monies, as I've just said, 700 million, and I believe that, and that's without the wages, as Gerard put in the chat. That's without the wages. That's just the transfer fees. No, I do not think an American businessman consortium, whoever it would be, is going to put those kinds of monies in. And as Com did say, FFP means we probably can't. We can spend about 400.
Yeah, I think it's 400 million. Yeah,
that won't be enough if you want to challenge for the title from where we are right now.
But wouldn't the American ownership with the Glazer, would you not worry that we might end up with the Glazers type ownership? Then would that worry you?
Yeah, you might end up with the Glazers, or you might end up with Stan Kroenke, who's done it right at Arsenal. Or you might end up with forget the name of the consortium who did Liverpool. you are playing roulette a little bit, but you're going to be playing roulette with the state. And remember that Newcastle got state ownership.
Yeah, but they can't spend a penny.
Well,
Yeah, because they overspend.
Yeah.
So it's
They
not
overspend.
it's because times have changed. It's not a guaranteed thing, but you're asking me what's more likely. It's more likely it's going to be with state ownership.
Yeah, I think so. And you look at the transfer market as well; it's gone bonkers. Then with you, James, right? Look, me, we all get info off the same person, don't we? And you get a little bit extra from another person, but we do have our sources. We do have our people that we trust that give us information. You look at how Levy ran Tottenham as a tight ship, never getting into financial problems. Me, were youngsters when Tottenham nearly went out of business under Ivan Scholar, when he started buying businesses, then going belly up. Alan Sugar came in and saved the football club. I still feel to this day, Alan Sugar never gets the credit he deserves for saving our football club. I really don't.
No.
I think he should get more credit than he does.
He gets a lot of crap for what he did at Tottenham, but a lot of people very quickly forgot that Alan Sugar came in and saved the club from going extinct.
Yeah, so I think that should be put out there. Look, you couldn't help with Terry Venables. Terry Venables is a lovable rogue. He's a bit of a Dale boy, Okay, he won us an FA Cup. He got us third in the league one year as well under Terry Venables. People seem to forget he was a very good football manager.
I'll be back in 30
business
seconds,
side.
guys. Sorry.
Yeah, Tequila. Yeah,
Tequila's off to ring up. He's off to ring up the state ownership of Qatar. He's off to ring up Prince something. Can you come buy my football club for me? So we've had really ups and downs at Tottenham since Scholar took over, and then Sugar, and then Enoch. This will be our fourth ownership as Tottenham fans since we've grown up, right? We don't really remember much of the Richmond and the Berman families, but when we were young kids, they were the owners, and then it went from there and there. Look, for me, I don't know if you agree with me, football has changed so much over the last 30, 45, 35 years. It's gone from a game of the people to the game of you have to be a billionaire to run it. There's no Jack Walkers. There's no families like the Edwards family at Manchester United that built an empire at United.
Yeah.
There's no families that owned football clubs like we did at Tottenham that would pass it on to their sons. With state ownership, as football lost its way, as football becomes so money orientated that they seem to forget what football is all about. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Is it become a cash cow basically, and that's what people see it as now, rather than the beautiful game? It's the beautiful cash cow. I would say certainly there are some owners out there that certainly see it that way. I'm not going to say all owners, and I don't think it's infected all of the footballing pyramids as of yet. I think there are legitimate owners of football clubs that actually care about their football club, local communities, want to try and drive that club forward the best they can financially. But I think the difference is now is the gulf between the leagues is very, very vast. How many times in like successive seasons do you see Premier League clubs or teams that have gone up to the Premier League, had one season in the Premier League, get relegated, drop back down to the Championship, and completely struggle and drop out of the Championship and end up in League One, and then they dick around in League One for a couple of seasons before they get themselves back into the Championship. And then
Luton just did it, James. They fell to the Championship the next year. They went into they're now in League One.
Exactly.
I let you into something. You know, Sheffield United are owned by Saudi Arabian consortium. You know that?
Yeah. I did.
I couldn't believe that when I read that the other day, and I'm thinking, how come they haven't pumped money into Sheffield United? Like,
Because they can't.
Financial fair play, innit?
Financial fair play.
Then
You can only spend what you can only spend what you earn. And Sheffield United, being stuck in the Championship, are not earning a great deal. If Sheffield United get back into the Premiership, Sheffield United will turn into a different beast. They will turn into if they survive in the Premiership for the first season, I believe they have got the ability then to turn into someone like a Bournemouth or a Brighton.
Yeah.
Someone who will then start snapping up these younger players, selling them on, turning in a money ball, but keeping a good, strong team out there. And just slowly developing and becoming a pretty solid mid-table team. That's what I think. But if Sheffield United ever get back up there, but it's a big if, because at the moment their wage structuring is obscene. They're basically spending pretty much every penny they've got on their wages, which leaves very little for transfers. So then they look at their youth academy, which has developed some good quality youth players in the past, but it's waiting for these players to develop and trying to get them all to develop at the same time.
Carl Walker came from Sheffield United, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Yeah, he did.
He did, yeah. So does that mean FFP and PSR is not working then? If you're saying to me then, right, hang on. If you're saying to me that a Manchester City or a Newcastle can spend us what they like, right, and do whatever they want. Man City, we still don't know the outcome of their charges. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. It's making the Premier League look like a bunch of mugs. I know they're trying. Should have been out by now, but a Bournemouth or say us or Arsenal or Bournemouth or any team in the Premier League, we have to go by the rules. But it's okay for a Chelsea, Man City, possibly in Newcastle, to do what they want, as they want, and they want, because they're state-owned and there's nothing the Premier League can do about it. Then does that mean FFP and PSR needs changing then? To level out the playing field? Because it's not level.
It's more level than it was, though. It's more level.
It's more level than what it was. But the problem is what FFP's done is created, rather than the differences between the leagues, which there still is and is evened out a little bit for to warrant an owner coming in, buying a club, and just injecting hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions into a club to see them then thingy, and then that manager or that owner then starts pulling money out of the club, and the club can't meet its commitments, and there's less of that.
Yeah.
But in the same breath is what you then now get is the divide between clubs is in the same league is different. Yeah. So it's very hard so you have the likes of and we are in that thingy because of the size of our ground. Manchester City, Manchester United, Chelsea, even Everton to an extent now because of their new ground. Liverpool, Newcastle, all these clubs with big grounds that hold 40 to 50,000 plus, they are earning more money per game day than what the Amex does or Bournemouth do, or Burnley at Turf Moor, or Wolves at Molineux. You know what I mean? These stadiums.
Would Chelsea be in that sort of bracket as well? Because Stamford Bridge isn't that big, by the way.
No, it's not that big. But the thing is with Chelsea is that Chelsea do keep themselves in that bracket within their because of the size of the stadium. But what Chelsea have done and been able to do over the last couple of years is when they've signed clubs or players, they've put them on astronomically long contracts. So their money is spread out over a longer period of year. Yeah. I mean, like Gerard saying there, Derby, Bolton, Wigan, Norwich, Sheffield Wednesday, all the same, all in that same bracket of like their grounds are not big enough to sustain a big enough jump up, and that's where I think financial fair play has got to tweak themselves a little bit.
I also
it's okay
think
saying about the sponsorship and everything like that, but of course Manchester City are going to be able to get more than Doncaster Rovers are on sponsorship.
I do feel the FA have to step in at some point and take control of this and say rein in the Premier League a little bit, because I feel the Premier League think they're a law to themselves. And I feel sorry for the FA, because the FA are the governing body of the game the governing body of the game. And I feel the FA, the Premier League, should say to the FA, okay, we'll go with you. We know we've got to come together to help the EFL clubs, and us all got to come under one umbrella. I feel the FA have to do something. As Daniel Levy said in that interview, one thing I did agree with him, he said it was a missed opportunity that the FA didn't get involved. And he said it's probably a missed opportunity now. Just very quickly before we move on to the stats of tomorrow night's game and also the Fantasy Football League, which Rhino said I was supposed to earlier, but I did find it in the end, Gila. So I got it with me.
I'm not sure I'm not sure Ryan's in here. Watch the link.
No,
to see
well,
it.
he can watch it on the repeat.
He did pop in very early on. Like I think he was in. Yeah, he was in. Right at the beginning of the show.
Oh,
Well,
you'd know if Ryan was still in.
Yeah. Well, look. Anyway, these are some stats that I found actually for tomorrow night's game. We've got Bodo Glint don't like facing English clubs in Europe. They've lost all 5 of the UEFA competition matches against English clubs, including the 2 losses in the Europa League semi-final against Spurs, 3-1 and 2-0 away, so a 5-1 win for Spurs. Spurs, meanwhile, have no such issues with Norwegian clubs. They've won all 6 matches against Norwegian teams, scoring 22 goals, including 10 from 3 games in Norway and conceding only 4. And Spurs are aiming to start the Champions League group stage league phase campaign with successive wins, only for the second time. They previously did so in the 2017-18 edition when they beat Dortmund at home, 3-1 at home, and a poll. I think they're a Greek side away.
Yeah,
3-0.
Apiol Nicosia.
Yeah. This is we're going to start. I'm done and running around. So this is the bottom 12. Mary, I'm so sorry. You've had the lowest score of the weekend.
Talking about rubbing it in, Dermo.
I know.
The poor lady's not feeling very well, Dermo. Come on, man.
I can't help her being bottom. Anyway, well, I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to swap you with Kuva. Kuva, you're now bottom. Mary there with 259 points. Kuva 99 with 263. Katie, just a girl who loves Spurs, on 268. Dave on 272. We've got Tony Gibson on 280. Colum made a big jump. Me and James were talking about this backstage. He's made a big top up from the bottom 2 up to 7th with 281.
Insider trading has come.
Yeah. The Fantasy TFC League will be.
He's been stealing my players, I'll tell you.
Yeah, well, there will be an investigation from THFC to a die into this Fantasy Football League. Sanctions will be applied if he found any dodgy dealing. And then Sweet and Sour, Darren Watts on 306. I know I keep telling Tequila to enter this. He won't, but I think he should, because I think he would. I think you give a good count to yourself as you're the Brian Clough, I think, of the fantasy football world. Big changes there, guys. A bit tight, isn't it? It's still tight between Mary Kate and Mary Graham, Mary Coover and Kate. And then it's tight then between Dave and Colum. There's not a lot between there. So,
well, I mean, when you really think about it, even as low down as Mary and all the way up to Colum in 7th, there's only 22 points separating those two. That's a game week. That is a game week.
It is.
And then one player has a bad game week, and one of those others has a good week. Sorry, boys, my apologies. One of us have a good week, and I can't mute it. 1 second. I'll
Take
just
it.
grab
Go on,
that.
take it, and yeah. And then this is the top 5. Tequila, of course, Rhino up there with 383. We've got James in second and 349. Carl in third and 345. I'm fourth on 319, and then Rohan Karma on 316. Again, very tight, isn't it? It's very tight there. It's a very tight league this year. So, what do you reckon, Tequila? Very quickly before we finish up.
Have to see what Ryan's been choosing. I smell something fishy, Dermo. Don't tell him I said that, though. Might have to get the Premier League to investigate all Ryan's transfer dealings.
Yeah, I will send James into we will send James into investigate Ryan's team. The Premier League investigation. Do you know you are the investigating officer of this league? You do realise that, don't you?
Well,
Down to you.
as a viewer, I will say also is that things are going to heat up between James and Kyle because that battle for second spot is very close. There's a little bit of a gap to you from Kyle, and there's obviously a little bit of gap from James and Kyle to Ryan. So the battle for second is certainly going to heat up. So I don't know, James, do you think you got what it takes to take care of Carl Simpson? He's not in the chat to defend himself, so.
Sorry, I was still muted. My apologies, I was still muted.
I think Ryan's the Man City, and I think he's been doing dodgy stuff as Man City.
If Ryan,
do you know?
Ryan's Man City,
what,
so
right?
Cole's
I am
Arsenal.
reeling Ryan. I am reeling Ryan in. I've got him on a lasso, and I am reeling him in. You look at the last 2-3 game weeks, and every week for the last 2 or 3, I've chipped away points at him, little by little. 5 points. I think it was 3 weeks ago. Last week it was another 10 points. This week it's like up to 16 points I've chipped off him. I'm reeling him in. Ryan was running away. End of game week 3, Ryan there was a big gap there. But after that, I have slowly but surely just pulling him in. And give me another 2-3 weeks, and this man will be sitting number 1 because I've got my. I'm changing. I don't make transfers. I've got. In fact, I was actually looking at my players just after. In fact, I think it was when the Arsenal game was being played. You were Mary. You were robbed. Someone's done you.
Mary. Yeah. There has to be an investigation into this.
I was looking at the team, and I was looking at my players and looking at my squad, and I was like, right, who's playing who's got who, and everything like that. And I was contemplating transferring a couple of players out and bringing in some fresh talent for the next couple of game weeks. And I was like, you know what? I don't need to. My boys are just plodding along, just racking up the points slowly but surely. And if everybody's team starts matching mine, there will be an adjudication into this league.
Well, I'll tell you one thing we have to do before we finish off is say hello to our sponsors. That is Private Internet Access. They are the sponsor of THFC Till I Die for the 25-26 season, including the World Cup, which we will be covering on this channel, in conjunction with Fight Fifth Tier podcast as well. I think James is doing an England watch along on both channels. I think he might be covering.
Are you really, James?
No, the deal we've got is
putting yourself through that, James. Are you?
Keelan, the deal we've got is right. He's going to sit through an Ireland watch along with me, right? Boy, because I need the laughs. Because
he may enjoy that more than him watching the watch along of the England game. Demo. That's
then I'm going to sit in the watch along watching England with him and just battering him for the whole game. So,
mate, you will fall asleep if you think that Frank Ball is going to put you to sleep. Then Tuchel Ball will do the same.
Anyway, but if you don't want to miss that, if you can't watch it and you need a VPN, this is the place to go. Tequila, before we finish off, do you want to introduce the video for the man, the myth, the legend? The
man, the myth, the legend. The last day as an owner of this channel. The 29th, and he's going to tell you right now why you should get this VPN. He's going to try to be a WWE wrestler for some reason, and he's going to be an Irish superstar for some reason, and he's going to tell you to let me talk to you, and you should go and get yours now.
Let me talk to you. A little reference there.
And that's all she said. That is it. That is all she said.
Let me talk to you.
Let me talk to you. A little reference there. But I'm going to stop messing about. I'm going to talk to you about private internet access, the best VPN in the land. Now, when you're online, you may not realize, but all of your data is there for the taking by anybody. With a VPN such as private internet access, your data is safe and secure, streamlined, and nobody else can get hold of it. That's why I use one anyway. VPN's very easy to use. Private internet access, all you got to do is log on your phone, select where you want to be. So I want to be in America, and I click go, and there we are. You can also link up your devices to it from your phone if that is easier for you. It's available on a lot of platforms as well. As you can see, you can use it for a very, very big range of things. So that's even better as well. You can use it, like I said, on all your devices, smartphone, tablets, gaming consoles, and stick it on your modem. And it's unlimited devices. One equals all. It's available all across the world, and it works perfectly. What they do is they mask your IP address, so pesky 3 o'clock kickoffs aren't an issue anymore, and they're independently audited, so there's no logs, 30 million customers, and 4.5-star Trustpilot rated excellent review. Private internet access. Get yours now.
Or €45 for 2 years, plus 4 months free as well. It's the best VPN around. Even Big James went over to Alan Shearer's house and gave it to him. Even Alan Shearer's using it, and Gary Lineker as well. If you do watch the rest of this football podcast, which I do like watching, actually, by the way. I don't know if you guys watch it, but I enjoyed that podcast. Talking about podcasts, we are back. Me and Dave are back on Thursday with Irish Lads Talk Spurs at midday. We're back with the podcast, which you all want to see. James is back with me, I think, Saturday for the watch along. I think me and Tequila might be doing another show during the week. Probably look back at the Bodo Glint game and looking ahead to the Leeds game. Next week, we've got the double Irish games coming along, and I'm going to treat the Irish games as I would Tottenham games. So there'll be pre-match members build up for the Ireland games and the England games as well, and there will be before the whistle, the watch along, and final score. So as we would with the Tottenham watch along, we're going to do the same thing for the Ireland games and the England games. So to give you guys the best coverage of football on this channel. Anything else you want to say, Gerard? If you want a link, the link for the Fantasy Football League is in the member section on the channel, and the link for the VPN, and the link for the VPN is in the description below. James, thank you so much for coming on. I know you need to go. Where can people find you? I know they can find you in here. We have to get your X linked up as well, so we need to get you out on there as well. So can people find you on X?
They can indeed. You can find me at THFC James. Just a few, I think it's about, I'm up to like 20 followers now. I'm doing well. So yeah, you can find me on there. I do post transfer news, bit of breaking news that I get on there. So please come along, hit a follow, hit your follow and like and you subscribe on here as well, guys, because this is where I mainly am operating. And just a quick update: West Ham have equalised against Everton. It's 1-1.
Go Nuno. Go Nuno.
Garden Gnome is doing his job. And Tequila, I know people can find you in here, but you also got a gaming channel. Oh, me and James have a gaming channel called Double Dum Gaming. Do get over there. There's plenty of Football Manager 26 coming up, and also FC 26 will be going up there. We do have a Twitch channel as well, which I will find the link for that, and I'll stick that in the description. There will be stuff going up on our Twitch channel as well, so do get over there and give us a follow on Twitch. But please, the daddy of them all, the daddy gaming channel of them all, the channel that we aspire to be, the Playhouse. Tequila, what you got coming up on there?
Now that the Borderlands craze has died down a bit, myself, my two friends, and Com, who you do know, who was in the chat, I think Com's going to be doing his Persona 3 when he gets back to it. I think once he gets his PC back. And we've got Red Dead Redemption 2 continuing. If you guys like that, really good game. And we've got Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater, the remake that just came out. So that stuff should be appearing on the channel within the next week or so. So please join us on the playback.
Did get picked up today. Sorry,
Ah,
Tequila.
that's all right, mate. No,
It did get picked. It did get picked up today, so it is on its way to repair. So hopefully, sometime soon, he will get it back.
I think he said in the next week. Yeah.
But guys, thank you so much. Do join me tomorrow at 3:00 for the predicted lineup member show. If you're a member, you get to watch that live. That's going to be fun. Something we're going to do before every match day. Now, I know the game is 12:30 on Saturday, so I may be doing it the night before on the Friday night. But normally, if the game's at 3 or 5 or 7 or 8, they will be done early in the day. Member shows are starting next week as well. I think next Wednesday, but I need to speak to the lads how we're going to do that and when that's going up. And also, of course, the Ireland games, the England games will be across all platforms. And also tomorrow we got match day before the whistle, the watch along and final score tomorrow, guys, where you members get to come on after the game and join me to talk about the game you have just seen. Well, last thing I've got to do is thank everyone for watching. Again, at the moment, YouTube seems to be not putting this out a bit. We're getting mad people watching this. I mean, tonight, the average view duration was over 10 minutes, 15 minutes tonight, but only 74 views because of something wrong with the algorithm, whatever, YouTube. So please, guys, share this out. Share this channel about. Hit the like, hit the subscription. If you're watching us on X, do come over as well. There will be a members giveaway once we get to a certain member. Once we get to 2,200, there will be a members giveaway. We're nearly to 2,000 followers on X as well. We're only 25 away. So if you haven't followed us on X, please do get over there and follow us over there. Follow us on TikTok as well. The links are down below. But guys, score predictions for tomorrow night. James, what are you going with?
2-1 Spurs.
Tequila, what are you going with?
1-1.
I'm going for 4-0 Spurs.
Always the optimist here, man.
I never change. On that bombshell, we should leave it there. Thank you all for watching. Another cracking show. Whatever you do, like, subscribe. Let's get to 2,200 before the game on Saturday, and let's kick on. Come on, you Spurs. In Thomas Frank, we trust. We never stop. We are the best. And Tequila, take us out.
It's just who we are, mate.
Good night.